Hi, I'm Ivana, and today I'll talk about how chronic mukbang participation can affect our bodies, not just our weight, but our hormones, gut microbiome, and long term disease risk. I'll also share my own reflections as a nurse. So, here's our learning objectives. But first, let us define what is a mukbang. So, mukbang started in South Korea and involves YouTubers or streamers eating massive amounts of food while interacting with viewers. The food is usually processed fried chicken, instant noodles, desserts, sugary drinks, and the videos can last an hour or more, often late at night. Studies in Korea adolescents show that frequent watching of mukbang and similar food content is linked to high rates of overweight and obesity. And this becomes a health issue. And why is it a health issue? Let us discuss why it becomes an arising health issue in South Korea. So, our eating behavior is regulated by hormones. We all know that ghrelin from the stomach tell us what to eat, and leptin from fat tissues tell us when to stop, and insulin from the pancreas help store glucose. Chronic mukbang use meals high in sugar and fat repeatedly floods the body with glucose and insulin. Over time, our cell stops responding properly. This is called insulin resistance and is a key step towards type 2 diabetes and fatty liver disease. At the same time, as we gain more fat, leptin stays high, but the brain becomes resistant. We feel hungry even when we already have excess energy stored. So, these foods can disrupt the gut microbiome. Most mukbang meals are ultra processed foods. It's a large review, and the Lancet of Gastroenterology and Hepatology shows that high intake of ultra processed food is linked to obesity, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and even fatty liver disease. Mukbang is not only about what we eat, but also about how our brain reacts. A scoping review on the psychology of mukbang shows that people watch for pleasure, connections, and stress relief. Watching and hosting mukbang likely activates dopamine reward pathways, especially when combined with likes, comments, and even donations. For some individuals, this becomes a cycle. Feeling lonely or stressed, watching mukbang or streaming, temporary pleasure, craving more extreme content or bigger portions. New research even links problematic mukbang viewing with binge eating and purging, symptoms similar to what we see in binge eating disorder. Comparison to binge eating disorder. Clinically, binge eating disorder is defined by recurrent episodes of eating unusually large amount of food with a feeling of loss of control and significant distress. Mukbang may not always meet this definition because it's planned and monetized, and some hosts claim they feel okay about it. However, the behavior looks very similar: huge portions, very rapid eating, often late at night, with high calorie processed food. When this behavior is repeated for months or years, it can contribute to insulin resistance, fatty liver, hypertension, weight related stigma, even if it doesn't full meet DSM 5 criteria for BED. So, as a nursing graduate, this topic worries me because mukbang is normalized as just content but has real medical consequences. We may see young patients with obesity, prediabetes, or hypertension who spends hours each week watching or even doing mukbang. For me, the key concerns are it normalizes binge like eating high salt and high sugar diets. It may worsen body image, anxiety, and disorder, and it targets vulnerable groups, including adolescents and people who are lonely. As a nurse, we can screen for problematic eating and social media behaviors, provide education on healthier viewing and eating habits, and advocate for public health policies that discourage harmful mukbang trends. That is all for today. Thank you so much for listening. And here are the references that I can use. You can also search them up to your library or to your Google. Thank you and have a great day. Remember that health eating is a form of self respect. Thank you again for watching. Till next time.